Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I'll be posting an interview with Paula on Friday. They are a great band from Texas, and I also posted an interview with Vista yesterday. So definitely go check that out. They're actually playing Launch, which is the conference that I'll be going to over this weekend. So I'm really excited for that. And a ton of live videos and interviews to be had while I'm out there. So I'm really excited about that. If you're going to launch, come say what's up to me. I'd love to meet you. I'm actually meeting this band that I'm doing an album review for. So tonight, without further ado, I'm going to be talking about the Great Heights band's new record, Rad Pop.
This world's gone straight to hell, and I don't care at all if we just keep things real.
So for those of you who don't know about this band, they're kind of like indie rock, alternative pop. They have a few different kind of influences. I feel like bands that kind of resonate with this band would be Motion City Soundtrack. I feel like Blink 182 is definitely in there. Weezer, that those sorts of bands. I feel like you'll kind of get an idea of how they sound and kind of an idea of where they're going sonically. I want to give a shout out to Scott, their PR guy. He's the one who sent this over to me. I'm so excited to meet this band, do an interview with them, and also meet Scott because he's a great guy. So definitely go give some love to Scott in the comments. But I'm going to go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on it, give some pros and cons on the record, and then finish it out with an overall rating. If you see 12 twice, one is actually for the vinyl exclusive of the record, and the other is for the CD. They each get a bonus track, but they're not both on the same record. So if you are going to choose, I'll kind of give my thoughts on each bonus track, but if you either get the CD or you get the vinyl, you get one or the other, unless you get both, then that's really cool. But anyway, the first track on the record is Straight to Hell. This one's probably the first single. I don't know which one came out first, but I'm pretty sure it was this one. It has a strong Motion City Soundtrack influence to it, like I mentioned previously. I also like how the vocalists trade off. Eric and Neil both do a great job at singing, and I think they both have different like vocal styles and vocal takes that I think is really cool. I also like that Eric takes over the choruses while Neil handles the verses. I think it is really interesting, and I like how they kind of, I wouldn't even say expose it, but I like that they use that a lot. I think it's really creative considering having two vocalists do that job. I like the qualities of that. I also think that Neil has this sort of rap sort of feeling to his vocal style, especially in this song. I also dig that he does some backing vocals in the chorus as well to back up Eric's vocals lines in the choruses. I also feel like it's a great blend of indie rock, some pop punk in there as well, and some alternative sorts of vibes going along with that. Really catchy, has some great energy, and it starts the record off right. So we're going to move into track number 2, which is Start. This song definitely reminds me of the band Modern English as well as Weezer. Modern English did I'll Stop the World and Met With You. So I got those sorts of vibes from that song, which is really cool. Definitely harkens back to more nostalgic style days of when I wasn't listening to like heavy music, so that's really cool. I like that the bass and the drum kind of take the forefront of this track. It really solidifies the groove, as well as just, you don't really get too much love, especially from the bass, I would say, more or less than anything. They don't get a lot of love, so I love that this track really kind of hones in on the drums and the bass. I think they're just the rhythm section, and they don't get too much love, so it's really cool to hear that. I also feel like this song is probably the most radio friendly track. Not to say that there's any profanity in any of their songs, but I feel like this one I would definitely kind of hear on maybe like an alternative radio station in New Jersey or like Philadelphia. I could definitely hear that being on the radio. It has a strong pop aesthetic to it while being really catchy as well. Just kind of taking on the moniker of the first track, but maybe more in a pop direction. So we're going to move into track number 3, which is Quicksand. I believe this is the most recent single. I know that they released it on on Apple Music, Spotify, things of that nature, the streaming sites. But man, this is track Groove. I think this was one's definitely one of the ones that is strongest out the gate. It's got this really awesome electronic synthy vibe to it, and I like that again. Paul and Owen really kind of take this song and really kind of do their magic on it, being the bass and the drum respectively. I feel like this one again also hones in on more of the bass and the drums. They feel more of a centric part of this track and why it works out so well. It definitely reminds me a lot of Block Party in this song. I love Block Party, another great indie band as well, but definitely gives me old vibes of like Helicopter when I was playing like Guitar Hero 3. So definitely love that. The bridge is probably my favorite part of this track, just the way that they kind of break it down. I think it's really unique. I think it works well, and I love the great energy and just the originality of this track. It really works wonders, and I think it's one that a lot of people will come to love off this record. So we're gonna move into track number 4, which is All In. Really like the blend of rock and synth that is a common thread throughout this entire record. I feel like the synth or like organs or some sort of piano style instrument is really important, really kind of stand out in a lot of these tracks, which is again not really done too much in, I would say, the music that I listen to particularly. So that's really nice. I also like that it highlights all the aspects of the band being more kind of rock driven. It has, you know, Neil doing some great vocals. I think it also has Eric doing some great vocals as well. It has some catchy moments, diverse vocals, and some really cool synth melodies as well, and just a great aesthetic to the track. There's, there's a lot going on, but also at the same time they really work in harmony together as well. I like that the energy that this track brings, and it would be really interesting to see, how they play this one live, because I feel like it will transcend even the record. I feel like it would sound much better live, and just kind of seeing the more high energy, the more high kind of sonic writing that they got going on this track. And I like the cool electronic ending at the end of this track as well. I think it bleeds very well into the next song, which is What's Real. So like I said, track number 5, What's Real. This one has this throwback pop punk feel to it, much more of a darker undertone than the previous tracks. I felt like the other ones have more of that pop punk mentality, very like high happy sort of stuff. This one has a little bit, kind of takes it back a little bit, which is nice. And it has it unlike any of the other songs we've heard so far, especially in the bridge. I would say is when they really highlight the darker kind of vibes of this song. Loving the harmonization in the vocals in the chorus. I think that this one is a pretty straightforward track. There really isn't anything crazy going on, but I think it's solid nonetheless. So we're gonna move into track number 6, which is Flutter. This one is a really interesting change of pace sonically. It kind of gets to the halfway point of this record so far, and it has a bit more mellower vibes, things that I felt like were a little bit more hidden or repressed in previous tracks, have more of a presence in this song, whether it be piano, kind of the more like acoustic style guitars. It really kind of brings out more unique energy and unique instrumentation in this song. I also feel like there is a strong sort of Ben Folds vibe to it, another great indie sort of band that has been around for a little bit of time. This one also has more of an indie just pop sort of style vibe to it, with being the piano having more of a standout role in this track. I also like that the vocals have more of a diversity, as well as just the harmonizations in this track really work wonders on this song. It really adds depth to the track, and I think it's one of those ones that I was really surprised about when I listened to it initially, but I think it works so well in the middle of this record, and it just offers a kind of musical palette cleanser throughout the kind of rest of the record. So we're gonna move into track number 7, which is "Wished I Was Dead." This one feels like kind of like a baby of Blink 182 and Motion City Soundtrack. If they had like one song together where they kind of combine aspects of both of those bands, then this song would be a absolutely high energy. The vocals definitely take the lead on this song. The chorus feels like the focal point of this track as well, and it's pretty straightforward, much like What's Real. It's not doesn't have anything bad particularly about it, but it's just straightforward. You know what you're gonna get into. You know what to expect. But I like how the energy kind of brings up, and I also like that Neil takes more of the vocal lead in this track. I feel like Eric kind of takes a back seat, which is really nice, and I also like just the switch off of the different vocalists. I think it's really cool. So we're gonna move into track number 8, which is Better Things. This one is probably the one of the more recent singles as well. This one has, to me, a modern day sort of Cure flair to it. Out of the singles, I feel like this one took the most time for me to get into. The other ones are just kind of like, you put them on, they're real good. This one definitely took me a little bit to warm up to. The catchiest parts are definitely in the chorus, without a doubt. And I feel like the song definitely gets better as it progresses along. And the more times you listen to it, I feel like the more good it sounds, the better it feels. I feel like, to me, a lot of the times when I get to a single on any record, I feel like if I listen to it enough times, I'll get into it, and if I don't, like, then I just don't like that track off the record. So this one, I feel like, is a grower, and I definitely like the process of getting to that point of hopefully liking this track, and I feel like it reaches its final stride, or its best point, towards the end of the song, probably the last chorus more specifically. So we're gonna move into track number 9, which is The Mountain. This one really took me by surprise, and what I mean, like, I know I've said that a few times, but this one absolutely has the more almost Mumford and Sons folky sort of vibe to it, Lumineers sort of style to it. Definitely the black sheep of the record, without a doubt. It also has some banjo in it as well, just kind of add that sort of flair to this song. While this track is super unique, I just don't really generally like this style of music. It's just something that I could never really get into. An example I never really liked, I think it's Born and Raised by John Mayer. I didn't like that one too much. So no offense to you guys, I just didn't feel this one. However, there's probably some people that will enjoy this track equally as much as the rest of them. So we're gonna move into track number 10, which is Free. They released a music video for this one as well. The instrumentation reminds me a lot of older Weezer, which I love. Weezer is one of my favorite bands. Which probably most people don't know. I love the melody and the swing on this track. Again, it reminds me of that old Weezer style stuff, so it kind of pulls at those nostalgic strings, which is awesome. The chorus will get stuck in your head. I feel like when I was listening to this record and when I was at work, I was humming that same sort of chorus in my head throughout it, which was really cool, and also probably scared some people at my job, so that's totally cool as well. Liking these sort of subtle electronic and synth vibes throughout most of this track. I think it's really kind of a synonymous point with the Great Heights band, is that they have some sort of synth or electronic layering in a track, which is super cool. It's straightforward, but I think it's well executed. So we're gonna move into track number 11, the last track off the real record, if you purchase it off like iTunes and not get the CD or whatever. But this one is called A Little Time. This one being more of a sort of ballady sort of track. I love the diversity in this song. It gave me some old school Green Day vibes, more specifically songs like Boulevard of Broken Dreams, and kind of maybe a softer version of like 21 Guns. It has this sad vibe to it, but it really works with the feelings of the lyrics and just the instrumentation as well. The organ is just a nice, subtle, like, nuance in the song, which I love. I love just having that sort of organ kind of like make its way throughout the entire track. It really kind of just works. I don't. It's just really hard to explain how much I like it and how much it's kind of a really focal point in this song. I think it's a great track to finish off the record with, and it's really unique. Again, I think that so far a lot of the songs have not sounded similar, while they being straightforward. I don't think that they kind of borrow from each other, so that's really nice. But I'm gonna move into the two bonus tracks. Track number 12, which is Eyes, and this one's off the vinyl edition of the record. The song really kind of sticks out, especially the piano in this song really kind of sticks out in this song. More specifically, I like that this one has more of a pop aesthetic to it as well. The chorus being probably my favorite part of the track. I think the reason why the chorus is my favorite part is because of the harmonies. It just really hones this song in together, and I think it really works well on this song. So we're gonna move into track number 12 again, which is Grow Up, and this one's off the CD. This one shows off more of, again, a pop aesthetic to the band for a good portion of the song. I say in the chorus it goes more in that pop rock direction, which is nice as well. In some points it kind of reminds me of 90s pop, kind of like 90s boy band stuff, kind of in sync Backstreet Boys sorts of vibes, which is really cool. And I like how they arranged this track. So some pros and cons. Pros, it's really diverse, not only instrumentally but also vocally. There's a lot going on, whether it be through the synths. They have some really great layering, some great harmonies. Both, I feel like Neil and Eric both have interesting voices and they don't sound similar. So when you listen to a song, you're able to pick out which one is which is really cool. And I love that aesthetic to bands. I feel like there's not enough bands that do that, so I like the trade-off between that. There's a really high level of catchiness off this record. There's really not a song in particular that I didn't like. I just felt like some songs were a little bit more plain Jane than other songs were, and there's really a sense of uniqueness throughout this record. There are some really great like Motion City soundtrack moments. There's some really great pop punk moments, harkening back to like Blink 182 era sort of stuff, with like Tom DeLonge, and then as well as they have some stuff that kind of sounds like Weezer, and kind of more of that indie style crowd of music. So really a plethora of different genres throughout this record, which I think is really ultimately why I fell in love with this record. It just has a unique sense of direction, and I'm excited to see where this band goes. I really don't have any cons about this record. It's solid from front to back. Even sort of the bonus tracks, while they're not my favorites, I think they are still solid in their own right. I still think most of the record, if you're just listening to from track 1 to track 11, you're gonna get a solid album from front to back without a doubt. So my overall rating for the Great Heights band's Rad Pop, I'm gonna be giving it a 9.6 out of 10. I think it's a band you should go check out. If you're coming to launch, go see them live. I'm definitely gonna be there, and I'm excited to see them live and kind of compare their album to a live setting and a live approach to this record. Really excited for this band. I'm excited for CI Records. They picked up a phenomenal band, and this record is amazing. I think you should definitely go pick it up if you haven't checked out the singles. All links to their YouTube channel, music, things of that nature will be in the description. This album comes out on, I think it's April 20th, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check. If not, there will be some text across my face if I'm wrong, but definitely go pick it up. Vinyl, they have vinyl online. They also have CDs as well, so definitely go check that out. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know in the comments what your favorite tracks are. I'm excited to hear what people's thoughts are on it, and if you enjoyed it as well, please subscribe. Please hit that thumbs up. It goes a long way. Thank you guys for your immense support. It really does mean a lot, and I can't thank you guys enough for checking this out. Plenty of new stuff on the horizon, so make sure to hit that bell too so you get notified of when new things come out. Like I said, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.